Hey guys, what's going on? So today we're working on the 335 again, and we have a cool mod that just about everybody ends up doing. It actually does make more power, let alone itself, but especially with the tune. And that is some intakes, the DCI or dual cone intake from VRSF. And there's a bunch of others out there that make similar things, but I chose the one from VRSF. The kit comes with these adapters right here, this little piece of pipe that goes into the factory inlet locations, and the actual filters themselves. And as you can see, 2 clamps. And you're gonna reuse 2 clamps on the old ones that I'm gonna show you up there. So let's get into how we take the old Airbox off and into how to install the new ones. So I threw in a quick little sound clip of what the stock intake sounds like, so that way later on we can see the difference that they make in sound by themselves. First step is removing the actual intake, obviously. To do that, we need to remove this forward part of it right here, and there's 2 torques. There's one here and one here. This car is missing it, so make sure you remove that one if your car has it, which it probably should. And then we're going to remove this one right here. Take the screw, make sure you put it somewhere safe so you don't lose it. And then there's one clip there, one on the other side. So all we have to do is free those, pull it back, and then it comes right out. So just take that and put that to the side as well. So now we have a vacuum line here that you just need to be careful with. Make sure you don't crack it. It is a BMW and it is older and it's plastic, so it's real easy to crack this. What you need to do is just push. There should be a tab on this side. This one's missing it as well, of course, and it should look like that right there. You push those both and you just pull it straight up. I'm going to do this off camera. I can't do it with one hand because it's broken, but it should be much easier for you. The other thing we need to remove is just not move, just move it out of the way pretty much, is this that houses part of the wiring harness and part of a battery cable right there. Yours should have a cover on top. This one, of course, does not, yet again. And so all we need to do is, you don't have to remove the cover if yours has the cover. You can see right here, there's little clips. So you can see this one I already removed. All you need to do is stick a flathead in there, push it down, and then pull back. Pull back, and that's it. So that way, why we're doing this is just to be able to just tilt this up to have access to getting the back part of the airbox off to where it connects to the actual clamp, just like right there. So obviously, next step, you got one clamp right there, back that off, make sure you don't lose that clamp right there. And then the other one is back here. You can see once again why we move this, because the screw itself is right there. So I mean, you can use a socket, or what I'm going to do is I have a little short stubby flathead, and turn that loose so we can just pull the whole airbox off. All right guys, so number 1 clamp, number 2 clamp, both loosened. What you need to do next is just pull back on it, and then you can see you're just freeing it from the actual airbox itself, so you can pull it up and out of the way. So there's that. Then you have your back one, and also make sure that the vacuum line itself is out of the way. You don't want to damage that, as I said before. So once you got both of those free, all you're going to do is pull the actual airbox up, and it may take a little bit of pressure for you to get it out. It pops into these little grommets pretty much, so don't be afraid of that you're going to actually break something there, as long as you got those 2 clamps. All right guys, so I cut that end of that video short because I was having an issue And I quickly realized the reason the airbox wasn't coming up is you could see 1, 2, 3, and those are these right over here, these rubber pieces that hold on a couple of things. So just make sure that you take these off as well, or else you're gonna have trouble pulling it up. Obviously I haven't done this before completely, so I didn't know those were there. So you learn as you go. Those 3 are off, and then you can see on the bottom of the airbox where it holds onto on the intake. You have 1, 2, 3, and there are 1, 2, 3 right here. So that's what you're pulling off. That requires a little bit of force. So yeah, let's jump into how to install the new ones right here and right there. Good. So next step is to take these adapters that VRSF includes, take them and just place them right there. You don't have to put them in way too far, probably about 25-30%, just so you have room. You can adjust them either in or out more, just depending on where the filters sit or where exactly you want them to sit. Like I said, I'd probably put them in about a third. As you can see here, there's about 70% of it I actually left sticking out. And what we're gonna do is tighten up that clamp. I'm not gonna tighten it all the way right now, just in case we need to make some type of adjustment before we finish it all. So let's tighten this. So like I said, just nice and snug, but we can still move it around in case we need to adjust something. As you can see back there, I put that one on, tightened it up. Like I said, nice little stubby screwdriver will help you out with that. And what I'm gonna do next, personal preference, if you look down here, tons of dirt. It all gets piled up under there. I'm just gonna take some water, some microfibers, wipe that all down. I'm OCD, so I like to make sure that's all cleaned off, even though I'm going to be replacing this charge pipe in the next video with a VRSF charge pipe. So anyway, let's get into cleaning that real quick, and then we're going to throw the filters on. Alright guys, so we're going to start with the back one first. We're just going to place it on that adapter right there. You're going to kind of have to move everything out of the way a little bit back here. And we're just going to put it on there. So as you can see, that's on there, and you can use your little screwdriver and tighten up that clamp. Just remember to tighten it up and you'll be good to go. Next, we're placing the front one on there. Same process, obviously. Just put it on there, pull it back, push it on there, and you're good to go. We're going to tighten this one up as well and connect everything back up. First thing to connect is this air line. Like I said before, it's gentle like everything else in a BMW engine bay. Make sure it clips back in like that. As you can see over here, here's a vacuum line. This vacuum line's cracked. Common problem in a 335 engine bay, common problem in any BMW engine bay. Old rubber vacuum lines go bad. Just always check the engine bay whenever you're working on it. There's tons. As you can see, there's some over here. They make kits specific for an N54 for 335i to replace all these vacuum lines, or you can run up to the auto parts store, get some and cut it out yourself. What I'm going to do to fix this, there's a little bit of slack in this, as you can see. So I'm just going to cut it right here to where it's not cracked, put it back on, and then it'll be good to go. So let me finish tightening all that back up, fixing that, and then we'll get into wrapping it all up. All right, guys, so just make sure you got everything buttoned up at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4 clamps to tighten. There's 3 clips to where this clips back on. Make sure that's all good to go. Make sure this vacuum line's back on. I fixed this one and made sure that was good. And so just make sure everything's all good to go. It's all personal preference. Some guys don't put this forward part of the intake, whatever you may call it, a ram air. It pulls air from the kidneys, comes up through, and pushes it into the stock airbox. I think it's a good thing to put it back on, because as you can see, when we put it back into place in the stock area, which is right about there, it puts the air directly to the actual filters itself. Some guys just, they like the way it looks better without it there. I prefer that it actually pulls cold air from the outside straight to the filters right there. So I'm just going to put it back on with that one screw, and then we're going to get a sound clip and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, so there you go. There is a obviously noticeable difference that hopefully comes over in the audio of the video. It has, you can hear the turbos spooling more audibly from the outside and from inside the cabin. I bet it sounds good under full boost going down the road. It's a quick, easy mod in terms of making more power. It does, and it definitely sounds better. So if you guys like the video, just feel free to subscribe. Leave some comments down below if you have any questions, concerns, and I'll see you guys in the next video.